Hey, how's it going? I'm Dan Fredenberg. This is for chesswithinvestors.com. Now, one thing that I've neglected to do is pay tribute to Danya Narodisky. Of course, every chess guy person has said something or other about it, if there are on YouTube or Twitch or anything like that. And what do I have to add? Well, I didn't know the guy, but he definitely affected me personally when for both learning and also when I heard of his death. It really bothered me quite a bit. Now, what I have to share with you today is something, it's a game between him and Magnus Carlsen. Naroditsky, during his life, he did end up saying that this was his best game against Magnus, his best win anyway. The thing for you is I want to give you an idea of a little bit about end game strategy and more so about under promotion, which is kind of the spoiler of all of this sort of thing. Now, if you don't know, Naroditsky, he passed away, and one of the things that is commonly coming up on the subject, I like to think that he should become the patron saint of fair play. Or at least be remembered that way, just simply because people who have their heads screwed on right, they were pretty clear from his educational series that he was not a cheater. He did not use engine assistance. He didn't need it. As a matter of fact, if you follow his educational series, you'll find out the reason why. I actually deliberately didn't watch a lot of his content because I was afraid that I'd wind up plagiarizing his body of work. Now, of course, he's passed away, so I've been consuming way more of his content than before, but I attribute much of my skills when it comes to understanding the King's Indian defense, for example, to Naroditsky. But this game that I've got here up on the screen, this is starting from move 49, which is pretty crazy, and I'd like to draw your attention to the evaluation. I'm not sure if you can see my cursor, you probably can't, but in the bottom right of this chess-based screen capture, you can see this black area here where it's got some little uppy-downy things like it's a stock report or something like that. The meaning is that if the bars are on the upper half, the further they are to the top, that's more of an advantage for white, and if it's further to the bottom, it's more of an advantage for black. So at this point, Carlsen still has a decisive advantage, but we're going to see how that can get squandered in a second, even if you are undeniably the best in the world. Now, of course, GM Naroditsky, he was no slouch at all. He was over 3,000 rated in Bullet, and well, even on here it shows that on Lee Chess he was 31-26 to Carlsen's 32-73, which is just it's not realistic that you're ever going to get anywhere near that sort of score. All right, and sorry for switching to chess.com's system here. I'm more familiar with it. And don't forget to use the speed controls. There's a little gear there. You can put me at 2x speed if I'm too slow, or put me at 3/4 speed or something like that, whatever makes sense to you. So I should have a little card thing so you can click on Danya Naroditsky's review of this game right here as well. But he tells you to pause the video and try and figure out what exactly to do. But the first thing to start off this from move 49 is Magnus does the best engine move with a huge advantage. If you look at the evaluation bar up here, you'll see that he's up by 6 pawns, theoretically, according to the engine, and this pawn is destined to become a queen. Now, Danya does the best move. Basically, he's going to try and use the king as a big blocker to try and find a mate, or maybe promote one of these pawns. And Magnus continues to do the best engine move of proceeding to promote. Now Danya moves over here, so now all 4 of these squares, I get that the king can't move over here, but I'm basically saying that all 4 of these squares are no-go zones, so even if Magnus does move over here, this square is still unavailable to him. So now here's the big blunder, and it goes to mate in 6, which of course Danya, he caught. And it all starts off with this move right here with this check. So now, as far as legal moves, Magnus can only either go here or here. And this one is no good because he'd be able to go check and then promote right here with this pawn to a queen, and then he'd be cooked. He could even switch it to a rook. But Magnus does the best move because he's the GOAT, going into the corner here. But Danya finds this next move, hit and check, leaving only one legal move right here. And Magnus takes, and now here's the beautiful one right here. He's got check with the bishop, covered by the king, leaving only one legal move here. And the beautiful thing is this bishop covers this square and that square. Right now that pawn's covering that. But after this move, it says it's, and you can see that that calls that a mistake. No, that's an inaccuracy. It says that the king should have gone over here, but even the GOAT makes mistakes in bullet. This is a bullet match. And the thing that's crazy is that if you promote to a queen right here, which is what the thumbnail is all about, it's a bad move because then the queen can finally get into the game, even just by moving the knight over here. You've got a discovered attack, a check on the king right there. So the brilliant move to finish it off. Danya called this his best match ever against, or at least his best win against Magnus. He promotes to a horsey, and if you look again, you'll see that the bishop still covers that square and that square. The king covers that square and that square, and the bishop. So all that he needed was a check to make it checkmate, and you do that by promoting to a horsey instead. So there you go. Now, of course, that isn't the most in-depth analysis. I do encourage you to check out Danya Naroditsky's channel. The video, I recall, actually I have it right here. It's my best win against the world champion Carlsen versus Naroditsky on his channel. You can check that out for a more detailed review, but what I have here for you today is just I want to give a little bit of tribute to basically say that you shouldn't pay attention to online trolls, even if they are ex-world champions. Just fill in the blanks for any of you that don't know. The ex-world champion Vladimir Kramnik, he went on a big tirade a couple years ago, accusing everybody and their dog of cheating online. Now, of course, I can tell you that I've got thousands of games on chess.com, and I went through all of them to see the accounts that got shut down for cheating. And right now I see out of pushing 8,000 games, there's 122 opponents that I went against that have had their account shut down for fair play violations, in other words, engine use. So cheating is definitely real. Chess.com only shuts you down if basically they could take you to court and prove that you were using an engine. So there's a very high chance that cheating is more prevalent than that. And there have been some grandmasters who have been shut down and caught for cheating. So it's not like it's inconceivable that somebody around Naroditsky's skill level would have cheated, but it's pretty obvious that that's not who he was. He had too much love for the game, and he did not have a horse in the race as far as his actual performance. You know, sure, ego had something to do with it, I'm sure, but really I just want to emphasize that if somebody's a complete butthead, you can't listen to them. There's plenty of buttheads out there, and the other thing too is just remember that in life there's so many mysteries. You can't see the future. You don't know what sort of wonderful opportunities and things that are just around the corner can make all of your anxieties and pains and suffering completely worth it. So, you know, just basically, I encourage when you're down, find a distraction. I know that, you know, people don't, you know, like a lot of, you know, psychological professionals, they emphasize the need not to repress memories or basically bottle it up like men did traditionally for, you know, until like the last 10 years or something like that. I get that that's not great, but the real key is to get out of fixation, because when you fixate, then you just keep on having the same thoughts over and over over again. Hey, this is what other people think. This is why life sucks, that sort of thing. And so you need to break that habit so that whatever's bugging you, it basically has the volume turned down, or you realize, hey, it's not the most important thing out there. Or maybe the person who's making the accusations isn't even doing it in good faith. Anyway, it really is a tragedy, and I do hope that there is justice for Danya. But that's what I've got for you today, and I'm going to skip my sponsorship for today, just out of respect for that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you want to check out more episodes, more of this chess-related content, I have chesswithinvestors.com, and that is where I have people on live. We play a live game of chess while we're discussing whatever it is that we're investing in. So far, most of them have been in multifamily, which is apartment investment. In other words, you buy and take over apartment complexes, make them nicer places so that they make more money, and so that the residents are happier to live there. And then there's also been some stock pickers on there. There's also been hedge fund managers, and then there's also even been some field producers on there. Anyway, I hope you do check that stuff out. You can hit the subscribe button so YouTube starts paying for these videos instead of me. But thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. Take care. Bye.